How's it going, trainers? So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet turned 7 months old this weekend, and let me just say, I've had a ton of fun exploring the Paldea region and encountering all the new characters in Pokemon. But that being said, there are a few issues with these games that aren't a lot of fun and need to be addressed. So today we'll be talking about some of those issues surrounding one particular feature, and offer a few solutions that I think could improve it. So without further ado, let's try to fix Tera Raids in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Welcome back, everyone! So what are your thoughts on the latest Pokemon main series battle mechanic? For me, I really like how you're able to change your Pokemon's typing mid-battle, as I'm sure it has a lot of potential in the competitive scene. Though I would have preferred a better look to Tera Pokemon than what we got. In a way, it almost looks like every Pokemon has a ring pop attached to their heads. Now these raids have similarities to last gen's Dynamax mechanic, but with a few distinct features that make them their own. And one of the biggest differences we've seen is the elimination of a turn-based system. Instead of having to wait for all members of your party to choose an action, you're able to use your selected attack immediately. But along with that, you're also able to forego an attack to support your party by healing or raising the attack or defense of the whole team. I know from my experience that the heals have definitely come in handy, since each actual player feint greatly reduces the raid timer. Now while the system does have its merits, I think there's several improvements that can make these raids monumentally better. So today, I've come up with some solutions to some of the obvious issues with Tera Raids. Starting things off with our first Tera fix, I like to see some improvements made to how private lobbies are set up. Whenever you create a private lobby in Scarlet or Violet, a link code is automatically generated for you. This process works great when you exclusively want to team up with your friends, but if you want a full party for a raid, these complex codes can hinder your ability to find additional players. In my opinion, I feel that the private lobby system was handled much better with the previous gen's Sword and Shield. In those games, you were able to set a custom link code whenever you were doing a private lobby. And let me tell you, this feature was incredibly useful when facing difficult legendaries and Dynamax adventures. When me and my brother would do these events online, we would set our link codes with either all zeros or all ones. This would allow us to find each other easily, while also picking up another player or two doing the exact same thing. Now why Game Freak decided to go with automatic codes for the Gen 9 games is beyond me, but I think giving players the option to set up their own link codes would greatly benefit the player experience. Now if this is too difficult for whatever reason, another simple fix for private lobbies would be to have a toggle to switch private lobbies to public. This would allow us to easily gather our friends in a group first, then open the lobby up to fill any additional spaces. Plus, this is a feature that many other online games use for lobby making, so it would be another feasible solution for Scarlet and Violet's private lobbies. Now moving on to another issue with Tera Raid lobbies, I want to talk about the system of finding new raids online. Whenever you open the Tera Raids tab in the Poke Portal, you're able to see 8 different Pokemon raids you can attempt to join. However, when you try refreshing to see new lobbies, nothing happens. But along with that, if you can't join a lobby because it's full, the game doesn't remove it from the current list. Both of these issues can be incredibly frustrating, especially if you're looking for Herba boosted or 7-star raids. Now going back to Sword and Shield for a minute, while their online matchmaking wasn't the greatest, you're able to refresh the queue by toggling your online status. So if Scarlet and Violet also had an online toggle, I guarantee that would also boost the Tera Raid experience. But moving on to the next issue, I think a fix that we'd all like to see is an improvement to the lag in the Tera Raids. In my experience, there's been times where I'm playing that the battle menu is either frozen and I'm unable to select an option, or it disappears entirely because other Pokemon are attacking, a Pokemon's doing a cry, or the raid boss is throwing up its shield. To be honest though, this is incredibly annoying since the raid timer continues to tick downward. While I do like the idea of doing actions instantaneously, the constant lag can definitely make the experience frustrating. Also, it's because of this that I kind of want them to go back to the turn-based system, unless they can reduce the amount of lag that we're experiencing. Now the final Tera Raids fix that I'd like to see is a revamp to the reward system. After completing a Tera Raid battle, you'll get a ton of awesome rewards including TMs, XP candy, and Tera Shards. But along with that, you'll also have the chance to get rarer items like bottle caps, ability patches, and Herba Mystica. As you know, that last item is particularly useful for making shiny sandwiches, however obtaining them from raids is incredibly difficult. You're only able to get them out of 5 and 6 star raids, and you only have a 10 to 13% chance of even getting one. Those aren't exactly great odds, especially with how difficult some of these Pokemon can be. So to fix this, I'd like to see them increase the odds of getting Herba from these two raids. Ideally, a 5-star raid would have a 25 to 50% chance of dropping Herba, while a 6-star would guarantee at least one. Considering you only have one 6-star raid on your map per day, I think this would be a fair way to balance the Herba payout. Plus, it'd help players obtain Herba easier, which will give more access to the game's sandwich making mechanic. Now, if they don't want to increase the odds for the Herba payout, another way they could fix it is by running special Herba bonuses during the weekend Tera Raid events. As you know, we've seen various starter final evolutions and challenging 7-star raids. Plus, you'll be able to catch it and have early access to those legacy starters, but that being said, you're only able to catch the Pokemon once. So I think a way to make these raids better is to offer at least 2 Herba per raid you complete. That would encourage players to continue raiding these 7 stars, rather than them being done after catching just one. However, if that would make getting Herba too common from raids, they could also offer boosted Herba from the occasional 5-star weekend rotating events. That way, they don't have to run boosted Herba every weekend, and it makes participating in these events more special and worthwhile. But that just about does it for our guide to fixing Tera Raids. Of course, I'm not expecting them to make any of these changes, rather they're fixes that I'd like to see since we're still in the early phases of Gen 9. Also, these aren't the only changes I'd like to see in Scarlet and Violet, though I'll probably save those for another video. So if that's something that you'd like to see, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you have your own fixes for Tera Raids that I didn't talk about, then feel free to leave them down in the comments. I really like creating these discussion videos and seeing what you guys think as well. Now, looking on to next week, we've got something a little different coming to the channel. Chris and I will be reacting to some crazy AI-generated Pokemon art, so if you don't want to miss one of our wackiest videos yet, then be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. But until then, thank you all so much for watching, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you all in the next video. Take care.